So hello and welcome to today's weekly reading. In case you are new to this channel, hello, my name is Julia, and on this channel I like to do tarot pick-a-cards and other types of tarot videos, and I'm also a huge astrology enthusiast, so I like to combine tarot, stars, and the spirit to provide you the most accurate reading possible. And today we will have things structured a little bit differently. So we will have a legitimate pick a card today. We will select pairs of a crystal and a deck along with it. So now without further ado, let's now jump into your group selection. Meditate on your crystals and decks, and see you in your reading. So hello and welcome to today's group selection. Today we will have 4 groups, and today we will have a literal pick a card finally. So we are not gonna select only crystals but also a deck. And I will also not show you the crystals up closer today because I want you to get a feel for the entire package with the deck. And when choosing your group, seeing more of the entire package, not particularly only the crystal. But as always, let's now take our 3 conscious breaths into our belly. And I like to stay with my feet on the ground and rest my palms under my upper thighs when doing this. So you can also close your eyes in the beginning for a bit and just inhale. And feel how the air is flowing through your body. Feel your belly expanding and going back in. Once you exhale, and inhale again. And you can now ask yourself either out loud or just in your mind, what is my next week going to be like? What is my upcoming week having in store for me? What do I need to know about the upcoming week? How are my next 7 days going to be like? So inhale again and exhale. And now just let your gaze wander over the groups, the crystals and the decks, and try to feel out which group you feel drawn to with your gut feeling. So don't choose so much with your eyes or with the mind, but more with your gut. And you can also pause the video and meditate a little bit longer on the crystals and the groups if you need to. And once you are ready, just go down to the description box and click on the according timestamp, and see you in your reading. So hello and welcome to your reading, group number 1. So if you selected this group right here with this crystal and with this deck, the Illuminated Tarot, this is going to be your reading. And today we will go a little bit differently about the reading. I will take this deck that you chose for the main reading and for the essential events, and then we'll draw additional messages with the Elemental Power deck. So the Elemental Tower Tarot, Power Tower Tarot, my god. And we will maybe also use some of my oracle cards for additional messages. So let's now jump straight into this group number 1. So with you, I already accidentally said Tower in the beginning, so I somehow get the energy that this might have been a hint. So maybe you are actually going through some transformative experiences right now, or something major is maybe happening in your life, but let's see. So I hope that the past week has had not only challenges and lessons, but also blessings for you, group number 1. And let's now see. Okay, we have a Knight of Wands reversed, we have the 3 of Cups reversed here. So interesting. I feel like some of you who picked this group maybe are going through some drama within their like closer friends circle maybe currently, and not drama necessarily like in the usual like gossipy or dramatic way how we tend to use this word, but more of a nature where you are maybe not having such an easy time connecting with people through your passions. I somehow get. Like, I somehow get that connection with your circle currently, or with other people overall. You might seek connection which is based on your passion, on your drive, maybe also on your like enthusiasm, devotion to things, but devotion not in the sense of not saying that you're not hard workers or something, but there's like two different shades to devotion. Devotion can be very, you know, a hard-working energy. It can also be an emotional devotion where you are very emotionally invested into something. So, oh, we get so many reversals with you. So I overall get like a shifting energy, like a very shifty vibe here. And I feel like you are basically reestablishing a lot of your values currently, group number 1. In whichever field that might be, I feel that's a very global theme for you currently. Reestablishing values. But also, I think that what currently might be a task, okay, this came out like that, okay. Yeah, I really sense that. I feel you, group number 1, a lot of you might actually meet new people in the very, very soon. So maybe the upcoming 7 to 10 days for you are about also starting new friendships, starting new relationships in career, in personal life, just having a renewal there, you know. And I feel like you might have the feeling that you have experienced some failure recently. And let me clarify the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles, please clarify the 9 of Pentacles. Please let me clarify the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. We have the Knight of Swords here, and back of the deck is 10 of Wands in reverse. So yeah, I feel like you might have encountered also with the Knight of Wands in reverse. There we have the Knight of Swords here. I feel like it also might, we have the Knight of Cups. We have so many knights here, like a very, what I get is in a way also a very competitive energy. And as I said, I get a huge shift vibe here. And let me just see, I feel that we have different different cards here which can denote zodiacs, and I feel though that you are maybe like a Capricorn, maybe, even though we don't have the Devil card here, but let me see. Yeah, we have Scorpio, first house, Sun, so still a very strong and a very, you know, powerful energy, which is kind of radiating over here. This is why I kind of aim for Capricorn first, because they have this very distinct cardinal vibe to them. But with Scorpio, we kind of tend to have also the same intensity of energy, even more in some ways, because this is also what, you remember I was talking about devotion and emotional devotion, and I feel this is something that is currently going on with your group number 1. And this is a general reading, and we cannot tap into each detailed message here for your situation, but I definitely feel a very major shift for you when it comes to your devotion to things and your emotional input there. And I feel like whatever might have happened that feels like a failure and misguidance to you from the past, I feel that that is actually something that is nudging you in a direction which is more focused around you and your individual pursuit of things. Because I feel that some of you might have been also very giving people, very hard-working people, in that sense that you are very invested people. You are very invested people, I get that. And you have recently done a lot of that, I feel. Also with the 10 of Wands here, I feel that all this spread is basically talking very majorly about a huge burden lifted of you. And that is happening in your favor, even if it feels to you as if something is being taken away from you. But trust me, it is a lift that is making space and you know, making resources open again for other things that will be more rewarding to you. And let's now just look what you could or should focus on. And for that, I feel like actually, let me see, using the elemental deck already. Because in this deck, what is very interesting, this deck is working without any human figures. And we have the Seven of Wands reversed here for you. So we have the... Interesting, I need to check, because I have started working with this deck just a few weeks ago, and this card hasn't come up yet in this deck for me. I know that it's not the Ace, but what is it? What is it? Let me see. Let me check in the guidebook in a bit. But what is very interesting, you have this circle symbolism here, and the cup here is presented on the outside, and here we seem to have... This might actually be the Queen of Cups. Let me see if I'm right. But we have here like a shore, and here we have the cup, and here we have the circle. And it's basically, you know, things come at their time. And also it talks about... Let me see if it's really the Queen, and then I will add more to this. But I feel it talks about the way of, you know, flood and tide, basically, the tides of water. And I somehow get that in my head. And I feel that you can resolve whatever has happened there in that social setting, maybe, because I get for a lot of you that is actually the case, and it might have been some conflict that actually was just kind of the final drop in a barrel, maybe, and kind of just filled the cup like to the edge, and then it overflowed. And the issue itself, or let's say the patterns and the story behind this, are way bigger than that situation. But I feel that that situation, you are about resolving it, and I think it will bring you a lot of healing in different areas, and it will help you to achieve what I was mentioning before. So we have... Let me see if these are the queens. So, and we have, I believe this is the Ace of Pentacles. And the back of the deck is actually here. Let me see what that is. So, but overall, group number one, what I get is, again, especially with like this Ace card here, it is a major shift, and I feel that for some of you it might be in the field of career, very, very likely, especially with that Ace of Pentacles energy there. Let me see. Also, this book comes with some very little inspiring snippets of text and words, which is very interesting, and some of those I maybe will read out to you. I feel like the Ace of Pentacles, I should bring you that. So, Ace of Coins, the pure power of elemental earth. The world is your oyster. Consider this energy a golden seed that you can plant to grow anything you wish. Just like a regular seed, you cannot simply plant it and walk away. It will take great devotion and care to tend the seed as it grows into its full potential. When you plant it, think big and be specific. The clearer you make your vision, the clearer the steps will be that you need to take to protect and nurture it as it matures. And the challenge about this is that this energy is not a golden ticket. It does not promise pennies from heaven or overnight success. To believe so is to invite disappointment. The reality is much more fulfilling than any single payday. So while, especially the last part of that, I mean, we all get excited about payday and stuff, yeah, I get that. But the thing is that it talks a lot about really focusing on the type of journey you are choosing, because with the Hermit also here in reverse and being overall so central in this spread, I get that for you a lot of that is now kind of getting out of that search and seeking process of purpose and goal and meaning, and like being on the edge of having that completed and ripe and bringing it to action. And I feel like for you also with the imagery in this card, we have, you know, this coin being up in the heavens, and here we have this valley which is still, you know, it's just a few weeds here, and you have the mountains in the back. It's all very grounded and protected even in some sort, but it is your work to make this fruitful and to bring life into this. And here also with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, with the Knight of Swords here, we have a very determined energy, which is in all this combination very much about new beginnings. And as I said, like new beginnings, and also especially pursuit of the final step of something. Because also the nines just numerologically come before the tens, which are kind of the completion of this minor circle in the tarot suits. So let me now check what's up with those circle cards. Ah, it's the page. It's the page. You're not the queen, because with the page, and my God, like you have all these pages here. You have the Page of Cups, the reverse though, so I feel like you also need to be aware of, like, maybe I was talking about this push and pull of the water and the tides and stuff, and I still get that energy, and with the traditional meaning of the Page of Cups, you know, when going and exploring, just be careful and make wise decisions, you know, use your experience, use your intuition, use your insight, and use your skill to really determine if something is worth the risk, or maybe it's worth another wait. So with all the pages, we overall, again, have such a new beginning vibe. So I get some of you might also be signing up for, you know, some courses or classes. Some of you, as I said again, some of you will meet new people, new groups of people very soon, maybe even in this week. And for some of you, I think this is a very rare case, but maybe a few of you who chose this group are now, like, if this resonates with you, you maybe are thinking about a particular relationship, friendship, person, or a particular, like, work situation and relation. The communication and the way this relationship is working is going to be changed and shifted. And I think that a resolving situation might occur for you during the upcoming week. So yeah, let's now jump into how you can take care of yourself best during the upcoming 7 days, because I get that you will have some good energy spending there, group number one. You will, I already can tell, like, I feel like really watching your schedule and really making sure you get enough sleep, that you drink properly, eat properly. Sounds very plain and simple, but really do it. Take care of that, because you are about to jump into a lot of new things. And what I also get is you might get overwhelmed. Like, the thing is, I get like this going into deep end energy here, and it's about new beginnings. And new beginnings are so consuming because it's new. We need to explore, and we haven't adapted yet. So just be very careful. And also, you Scorpios, if some of you are Scorpio Sun Moon Rising, if some of you are Virgo or Cancer Sun Moon Rising, I get that very strongly. But I get that you, even though we don't have the Death card necessarily here, but in this deck, actually in the Hermit, we have a little skull hidden, and we get, like, with all these strong water cards here, I get you might be like Cancer Sun Moon Rising Venus, Scorpio Sun Moon Rising Venus. I mean, it's also Pisces season, but I don't get like the Pisces energy here so much. So, but of course you can be any star sign. It's just that that Scorpio vibe, like going deep end with things, going deep end and very deeply, very passionately, that somehow sticks with me a lot. Let me see. I will now just do a split here and we get dance, and I want to pick some more for you. We have childhood, innocence. And we have fog, clouded. So or, you know, behind a veil, basically. So very, very interesting, because behind the veil is a card which is talking very much about hidden things. And also now I was looking at the Ace of Pentacles in this deck, and I get the term unearthing somehow. So, and overall the imagery in those two cards isn't very different at all if you look at that. You have the mountains here and here, it's just that here we have the fog. But otherwise they look very similar. So I feel that this is also talking about basically you needing to clear, you know, as we read out, getting that clear vision of things, clear vision. And I feel for you, something grounding, and for a lot of you, it might actually be physical movement and dancing, really the act of dancing. And not only, you know, trained dancing, but just putting on some music and moving to it. And that might, for some of you, it might feel very cathartic and very, and I mean, regarding the genre or something, for some it is dancing, for some it is just having a good headbang, you know, but just moving to music, that is something that I feel is very liberating to you, and it declutters your mind, I get. And with childhood and innocence, I feel for when this card comes up in like this scare question, I very often think that this is a nice card to revisit, maybe places, either your childhood home, if you have that opportunity, or the place where you grew up, or just a place which gives you this nostalgic and pure, like this innocent feeling. And it doesn't have to be your like particular early childhood, or because lives are very different, and you know, we have different paths of life, and very different episodes of our life give us that feeling of innocence and carelessness and being free of worry. So just surrounding yourself with things, going to an environment which is giving you that energy, and maybe helping you to look at things with eyes anew, and as if like you are looking at things with that childlike innocence. I feel just stripping overall yourself and whatever you do and pursue there from other people's judgment is, I think, a very key point for you as well. So just in terms of physical act, I'd say dancing, and this is why I want to also pull the music cards for you, my musicians. Dancing and you know, having some meditative time. But I get like a lot of you are not people who meditation is definitely I recommend for everyone always, but I get for you it is very meditative to move currently, to really move. So do that. Also get out in nature. Get out in nature, that's always a good thing, always helps to declutter our minds instantly. But I get decluttering a lot. So let me see what artist you should listen to maybe get some additional messages, or just, you know, tune your vibe into the direction which is supporting you and helping you. Whoop! I have an entire pile coming up there, my God. So, but interesting. So we have Edith Piaf, we have Madonna, we have Tina Turner, and we have Kurt Cobain. So what I feel unites all of these musicians in total is a very transformative energy they carry, and also embracing your flaws as a very deep and fruitful part of yourself, which actually is more than just a burden or just a shadow of you. It is part of you, and it also has aspects to you which are very closely tied to the lovable sides of yourself. And let's just go through the quotes. So with Edith Piaf we have, don't regret anything, live with every fiber of your being, and use your flaws as weapons. And with Madonna we have, everybody has a right to have an opinion, and forbidden joy can be the biggest of all joys, and you will always stay a work in progress. So yeah, perfectionist tendencies here. So you actually might be, with a Virgo placement, you might be Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Yeah, and Tina Turner, it is not important what happens, but how you deal with it. Get rid of everything that is dragging you down, and the most beautiful lotus is blooming in the deepest mud. And with Kurt Cobain we all are stuck in this chaos, so let's make some noise. Don't become your own tribute band, and you cannot buy Teen Spirit. So yeah, I feel that this is talking a lot about embracing, overall they all have in common, like embracing your unapologetic self. And also, if you look to the biography of some of them, I believe all of them actually came from not at all very materially blessed places and families. So a lot of these, or all of these artists here, basically carry a lot of transformation in them, which is an essence, in my opinion, to Scorpio energy a lot. So very transformative energy, and transforming yourself, and through that also your life and the circumstances of your life. So I feel for you this is currently something that you are dealing with, and I think within the next 7 to 10 days you will experience a push there. You will experience something that will denote a new beginning, that will kickstart new things for you. And you know, put those on spin, especially Madonna and Tina Turner. Like, those get my mood at least up always, and goes well with dancing, you know. And you, as I said, nobody needs to watch. They can though, it's more fun, and if you feel comfortable with that, do that with friends and with other, or with your spouse, with other people, or just do it on your own. So overall, group number 1, thank you so much for tuning into this reading. This is all I have for you, and stay safe, watch yourself good the upcoming days. I think you will have a lot going on there. And see you in the next video. Bye! So hello and welcome to your reading, group number 2. So if you chose this group right here, then this is going to be your reading. And let's now jump into your essential events and topics for the upcoming 7 days. So we will use the Druid Tarot for you today, and we will, you know, go with things slightly differently today. I will use only this deck to map out your initial events and topics, and let me see. Gave those a good shuffle before, but with you I somehow get already a very noisy energy somehow. So much going on. Why so ever. And then I will use the Elemental Power Tarot here to receive some additional messages for you, and we will also use some of my Oracle decks. So let's see what is going on with you, group number 2. I hope that the past week had not only challenges and lessons, but also some blessings for you. And here we have the wheel reversed there. We have the Sun reversed, and we have the Ten of Swords. Might be a group from the previous reading coming back here. And interesting. If you are that group, and if you recognize the deck and the cards, then just let me know in the comments below. If you were returning, if you had similar cards in the past week. So interesting, very interesting. Five of Cups here. I feel like you, group number 2, you are going through, for whatever you are guilt-tripping yourself. So, excuse me, I am receiving a call. I need to decline that. So, yeah, excuse me. I will be back in a second. And let me see, 4 of Cups. So I was talking, for whatever you might be guilt-tripping yourself, I think it's time to release that. I think it's time to release that, and I feel like you group number 2, if you chose this group, I feel like you are stuck in, you know, some place which is very like a clean slate, blank page somehow. I somehow get this feeling, you know, that's a situation when a noise has been very loud and then usually you cannot hear well, like for some time after that. And it kind of is all empty and silent, while it actually isn't, but the previous thing was so loud and so intense that it kind of deafens you to things. And I feel that has kind of maybe dulled a little bit your, like your radars for orientation. So let me see, I felt like pulling another, yeah, the High Priestess and back of the deck, the Priest. Yeah, very interesting. So especially with those two overarching this, I feel like you might be in the process of, like, what I get is you actually carry a lot of potential and immense power within you. You might actually also be somebody who is very successful in your fields, actually, and you are experienced, and you know, you are all but like a page where nothing is written, but currently you are somehow so much out of your place and out of your lane, I feel, group number 2. And if this doesn't resonate with you at all, then, you know, always feel free to maybe move to another group or meditate a little bit again on the selections. But I feel for those of you for whom this hits home, I feel like this is such a disoriented situation here, where you are blaming yourself and you're being so hard on yourself with these things, while all you need to do is, I think, get in motion and start moving. So let's see, let's see what you could focus on, group number 2, what you could focus on, what would be beneficial for you. I feel like you need to get moving. You need to get moving, yes, with Cernunnos, which is the devil in this deck, in reverse. You need to get moving. Release yourself from these restrictions. Release yourself from habits people, relationships, or friendships that are consuming you. And yes, I get like this here, clouded. The Hanged Man being upright. And I was talking about this entire situation when your senses are kind of blinded, you know, and things are happening and your skills are there, your senses are still there, but they are blinded. And I get this energy a lot with you. And the Two of Wands reverse, let me see. So Queen of Cups, 10 of Cups. Yeah. I think for you, and the back of the deck is the Hermit. So some of you might be Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Virgos, but what I get is also we have here with the Devil's card, but I don't think that is attributed to astrological energy here. Let me just check the dices. So we have Taurus, Mars, 11th house. Yeah, I feel for you it is so much about... I get also that for some of you it might be... Or actually, I think for a lot of you, in one way or another, this situation which led you into the state currently, I think that has a lot to do also with status being an important thing for you, which I think a lot of people tend to categorize as being something super superficial. But the truth is that status doesn't necessarily need to be something superficial. If we get recognition for our work and get a good get a good reputation in there, this is status as well. So I think it's making things too black and too white, saying that status is just something superficial and only about money and standing in relationships. Yes, it is about standing. Yes, it is about relationships, but a lot of that actually takes hard work, and it takes a lot of emotional investment from us as well, and isn't an easy path to walk overall. And I feel for you something major might have happened there. And also I feel for, and I get status so much, I feel like also maybe one of the issues is that this has also been sort of your driving force, and now that is kind of shattered maybe in a way, at least for a moment, or at least it feels like that, or you are experiencing as such. You know, things are, it's getting hard for you to find that, like, that emotional focus, that blissful focus, that focus which grants emotional satisfaction without this middle link of getting that recognition from the outside only. So I get that that is a challenging situation for you right now. But overall, I get a lot like freeing yourself from those restricting habits, from whatever is basically from this cycle also of we have the 9 of Swords here, we have the 10 of Swords, also the 10 of Swords talking about the death of old ways, releasing the way the world was structured for you as you knew it, especially in this position. And overall, I get such an energy, like if you could just flip this Hanged Man around, like the entire pattern would resolve and it would start a flow, and you would follow kind of this pattern of the wheel, you know, you would follow the nature of things, and things would kind of, you know, that mechanism, just one tap would make it work and things flow. But I feel for you, this is somewhat a very hard thing to do. I think some of you need to step over your shadow for this, and I understand that this is a hard thing to do. So let's just see what additional advice do we get with the Elemental Power Tarot, because it's very interesting that in this deck the human element is entirely removed. We have only objects, landscape, animals, plants, but we don't have any human figures there, and it has a very interesting energy to it. And I have just recently started working with it, but also in the guidebook coming along with this we have some very like short and inspiring excerpts actually, which I like. I'm not gonna take this one. This was kind of a half-hearted flipper there. So what advice? Let me see. Advice for group number 2. So yeah, you know, with all that clouded vision being in here, even the advice is coming tough here. But I think for you it is really, you need to get moving. You need to get moving in that thing, and you need to take at least one small step now and just start walking. You need to do that, and then you'll see how things play out. So we have the 10 of Cups again. So for some of you, I feel this is also about emotional completion. Maybe some of you are actually afraid of like a full invested commitment to things. That also might be the case. Up. Whoop. And all over the place. I seem to get that energy a little bit, but you know, that goes with the clouded thing as well. So yeah, we have now this here, the Hierophant. So, I don't remember, did it come out like that or that? And we have again, we have Taurus energy here. We have Taurus energy, and again, established rules, you know, established rights, established systems, established things and ways of life. And I feel maybe for some of you it also is a fear of, you know, committing fully to that. Committing fully to that, and I do get that. I understand that. That's never an easy thing to do, especially if you are somebody who maybe is not, like we have here like these very powerful cards that are very intuitive, that are also very powerful, very strong, very wise, very matured, and with that energy to comply to a set of rules that, you know, maybe sometimes even isn't entirely clear to you how it came to be and what its purpose should be. And you just need to accept it. Like, that doesn't come easy at all. I think, like, from this deck, this is all we will get, because I get a very, like, restricting energy currently as well. Like, with the Taurus thing, I feel for you it is, for some of you it is either the fall of status, or for some of you it is like stepping into this traditional scheme of some things and you being hesitant about it and you not being sure, and you having a lot of internal conflict on this. So this is a general reading. We cannot tap into every single detail, but I feel like these are the two major narratives in which we are going here. And let me now check for the Elemental Tarot here, the guidebook on this final card here, because that's a very interesting one. I feel like giving you a little bit more insight on that one. And also with the according message from the book here. So we have the Queen of Swords here. And traditionally, the Queen of Swords talks about also, you know, sharing a certain truth and clearing the air with that. And sometimes it might be hurtful. Like, with the Queen of Swords, I always associate, like, the edge of a blade is tricky. It has different purposes, very much depending on the bearer of the sword. And also, you know, truth can be hurtful, but it always clears. It clears. So yeah, I get for you, group member 2, you are stuck in like some complicated situation there, of maybe also breaking the truth to someone, and yeah. Or maybe also seeing it. I get that there's different narratives for a lot of you that chose this. But what unites, I think, all of you who chose this group is you are putting yourself under incredible pressure with this. And the more you kind of let those things stop you and paralyze you, the more this fog is kind of consuming all of that. I get like very tense and weird, like it's a weird vibe that I get. But with the Queen of Swords, we have your heart is longing to be heard, and you have the emotional clarity to put its emanations into words. There may be feelings you've had trouble understanding for months or years that can now be brought into focus. This is an excellent time for healing old wounds, updating self-talk and self-care routines, and clearing up messy relationships. Journaling can help you to get your point of view sharpened before sharing with others if you choose. You are the most important recipient of your clarity. And the challenge is, expressing emotions can be scary. Know that showing vulnerability is possibly the greatest display of strength available to us. Stand tall in your truth and trust that the universe will support you. So yeah, as I said, take that leap of faith and start moving in that matter that is putting you in that restricted space. And let's now see how you can take care of yourself best during this time. But before that, I will pull a shadow card for you, a shadow work card. And shadow work basically means kind of going into the shadow deep ends of things and getting to know, acknowledge and embrace kind of the darker aspects in us, and of our thoughts and our character, our reactions, basically ourselves. This is why it's called shadow work. It's kind of our shadow, you know, it's part of us and travels with us, and we can gain a lot of benefits when embracing and working with that. So we have I Won't Cry for You. And let me just read the text that comes in the guidebook with this card, because I've always found it very, very beautiful and very very fitting. Also with your spread, I think it will be a good match there. So sometimes when it's over, closure must be created, not just found. And I gave you my last gift. I shed my last tear for you. It's a time not to let you free, but to let myself free. Breaking up can only be done by two persons. One will do it earlier, maybe, but sooner or later the other will follow. One can afford to do it with words and actions. The other probably will only be able to do inside her own heart. It's painful, it's definite, it's hard, it's sometimes necessary. Breaking up is not just letting go of a person. You're letting go of a part of yourself, of hopes and dreams and trusts. You let go of feelings and memories. You let go of the emptiness you felt and the connection you relied on to. Anger will help at the beginning, but the last part of the road can't be done by just anger. Closure comes when you dry up your tears. It is a gorgeous moment when you allow yourself to, frankly, don't give a damn about it. All that was past is not a credit or a debt. It is just suddenly no more than a gift. You can raise your chin. After all, tomorrow is another day. It talks a lot about acceptance of pain, acceptance of grief, maybe acceptance of that particular event that was the blinding of senses for you, group number 2. And I really hope and wish for you that you can at some point like make that first step and start moving, because this is in such situations so often the point where things start to turn for the better for you. And let's now get to the self-care part. So how can you take care best of yourself during the upcoming week, group number 2? Let's see. And while I get that for some of you it might be about a particular person and particular relationship, it doesn't have to be only about like the love side of things. It can also be a friendship. But I get for some of you, quite some of you, this might be about a particular person or very close friendship, or as a spouse or romantic relationship. So with self-care we have Milky Way, perspective, and we have ocean, the tides. So I feel for a lot of you, you might feel very comfortable around the water, currently very pacified. You might also feel this is like a place where the environment understands you, where the environment actually gets you and you feel one with things and it feels cathartic to you. So with the Milky Way, I feel this card always reminds us of how releasing and pacifying it sometimes can be to feel small. To feel small in a world that is much bigger, much older, and will prevail much longer than any of us or even our children will. So I feel like going to places like, if that's an opportunity to you, a possibility, go to the ocean, go to the sea, go to huge water, go to an old forest, go to places, or even in a city, go to the places with the tallest buildings and try to feel small. While I prefer personally nature or architecture that is not necessarily only business towers or something, but that has like some history to it. So I like that as well. But go to places which make you feel small in a way that is calming you, where you feel like you are just one grain in this big world, and you will have your crevice where you will find shelter and where you will feel good. Because I get that, and there, from that point, then you can start creating a new cycle of things for yourself. Then you can rest there, you can recuperate, you can regain energy, and then you can start anew. You can start afresh. And like with the cycles, with the tides, I think this is a very beautiful reading, which is speaking of a lot of healing, I think, in which you, on your behalf, need to first step into. But once you do that, once you leave behind this place of maybe even despair, disappointment, you know, guilt, looking back at what could have been. Once you leave that, once you turn away from that, I feel a lot of healing can begin for you, which is gonna give you, I think, a lot of happiness and a lot of bliss. It will bring you people into life that are yours and that are with whom you can create this environment, which is a really happy place. I think that let me just see again for the dominant energies here. Yeah, and we have South Node, Scorpio, 12th house. Yeah, all those transformations with, you know, and also with the Hanged Man, 12th house, Neptune in here. Yeah, transform that subconscious part, transform that part which is both kind of our subconscious. And I know that like one thing is like the 8th house is linked to the subconscious, but with 12 we have also prison, we have dreams, we have illusion, we have, you know, a different part of the subconscious. I always see it as a different raw, like a different floor of the subconscious that is very emotional and very creative and also very spiritual, while the 8th house is also spiritual, but for me it has more this character of being the underlayer or the flip side of a coin of things, while the 12th house is more of like this entirely different floor where different things happen. And I feel like for you things are happening there on this different floor. You need to clear things out. It's not only about circumstances and about the character of things and situations, but here it's about you. It's really about you and like your soul, how you are structured, how you function, how you understand and embrace the world overall, not only in particular areas. And I think in the upcoming week, exactly that shift might happen for you. Exactly that process might happen. You might step out of this frozen in time, senses blinded thing. You will step out there, I'm sure. And just get yourself out there close to the water and to places which make you feel harbored, feel small. So group number 2, this is all I have for you. Thank you so much for tapping into this reading. Take good care of yourself and see you in the next video. Bye! So hello and welcome to your reading, group number 3. So if you chose this group right here, then this is going to be your reading. And today I will use only this one deck you chose for mapping out the initial events and topics, and then we will use the Elemental Power Tarot here to get some additional advice and also maybe some of my oracle cards. So let's see, group number 3. I hope that the past week had not only some lessons and challenges for you, but also some blessings and nice moments and pleasant times as well. I also get memories. Maybe you did something very memorable, very, very beautiful, or maybe you did meet somebody who you haven't seen maybe in some time. So interesting. Or maybe you're about to do that. So I get a very warm vibe here. So we have 7 of Swords here. We have Change as the first card, Change reverse. So and Compromise, 6 of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. So I feel like for you, group number 3, you might be like midst of a process of rethinking and reevaluating, giving, receiving. Okay, we get, I believe this is the Page of, or the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords here in this deck. In the Osho Zen Tarot. We have self-discipline. And I said that I get a very warm vibe here. But the cards are I feel like for you it also might be about protecting yourself. You know, group number 3, also trust and understanding reversed. Yeah, I feel you might be somebody who is closing off yourself a little bit. And I get isolation, 3 of Swords while I'm talking and like saying this. So yeah, I feel like you might be closing off yourself, even though that's not your nature. I get that. Those of you who chose group number 3, I feel you are, yeah, delay, sharing reversed. And we have the new vision as back of the deck here, which for me is a card that carries a lot of rebirth energy in it. And I feel that ties in nicely with what I said earlier when I started this, that I feel for you it is about a restructuring of things. I feel that you might be, I think you guys are, you chose this group, most of you are people who are very composed. Most of you are very composed people who know how to behave in which situation. But I feel like exactly that skill, actually, it is very easy to use that against ourselves and make it become a burden. Because at some point we restrict ourselves and regulate ourselves so much that we forget how it is to just embrace, to fall freely, to trust, to actually sometimes take our mask off, not one that is disguising our true nature, but maybe one that was actually molded and made to protect us. So I somehow get a lot of, and I think this is like an overarching topic for the entire reading for the upcoming week in this reading, and we often have this here in these videos. So I have kind of an overarching topic which is yeah, coming together in all of the groups, just through different spots and lenses and accents and stories, but it has a very global underlying root to it. And this week I get a lot of like emotional work in terms of boundaries, of trust, of also healing disappointment. I get disappointment being a topic in both directions, like the feeling that we have disappointed someone or the feeling that we have been disappointed. And let me now see what you could focus on best. Okay. Feel like those two belong together. Abundance and the 8 of Pentacles, which is a very interesting card, and it talks about both embracing your full potential, but not with without pressure. Embracing it, and also with abundance here, it ties in so nicely, because this card, like 8 of Pentacles, is like simplicity, basically the opposite of being extravagant or very like, you know, not even unique, but like being somebody who like stands out a lot is very, it is exactly the opposite of all those flashy things attracting attention. And on the other hand, still, it is very embracing, very abundant, very filled. Like the imagery in this one is this man walking through a blooming garden of blooming trees and a blooming meadow. So, or no, it might be a woman, it might be a man. It's just a human walking there. So through this very rich landscape, which maybe also exists even not only through our work, but especially as these are like fruit trees, which require actual care, and they require a lot of work and dedication and years and years of that to bring the most fruitful and beautiful harvests. So it is all happening without pressure, and it is limited by factors that you cannot even influence. But going with those things and understanding them, learning them, and embracing them actually provides you results that you, on your own forces only, would maybe not even achieve. And I feel now taking that narrative and that metaphor and placing that on your situation, group number 3. I think that let us go further with the cards, you know. Projections, and it came out like this. Yeah, I feel like you guys, this might be the reason why you have that mask of protection, because I think you are people who are prone to either seeing others projecting on you, or you do it also maybe with others sometimes. It might be both, it might be one of those, but projection on others or others projecting on you, I think this is a topic which is sometimes being very stressful and very draining for you. And I feel this is why you might be closing yourself off, you know. And besides the illusions, this is also with the butterfly imagery here. This is an energy which is very transformative, very rebirthing, very basically a new world being, like a new world immersing, a new world being born. Also, I believe that is the Judgment card, actually, in the traditional tarot. So I feel like for you, you are... Let me just clarify that. Okay, we have opportunities and releasing. So 8 of Cups, 2 of Wands here. Opportunity and releasing. So a trio which is very much talking about you needing to release this old cycle and then actually making place for opportunities, making place for, you know, a new story to be told, for a rebirth to happen. So it's very interesting that kind of, and back of the deck is 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, which is fitting in nicely. I think you guys are holding on to something that you think is working well, and it might have worked for a long time, but I think it's like unavoidable that you need to at some point move on. You need to move on there and also follow the flow of things and follow the flow of your transformation, and you as a human being wanting to grow, wanting to expand, wanting to see new things and experience something new, like a next phase of things, and it doesn't necessarily mean you know, making the old thing completely irrelevant. Sometimes it's about taking things to an evolution and bringing them to a new level, and that is a very natural need we have. And clinging on to things very often can just, you know, emphasize and harden things in our character, our perceptions, our plans that actually stand in the way of us being really at peace and really happy with what we pursue and what we do. And then that starts to discharge and unload itself in like all the niches, all the crevices, all the weaknesses that we can find in our system, which are very human and they are part of ourselves. And it just becomes difficult to cater to all of that when you are not giving yourself the environment to recharge and to thrive. So I feel for you, group number 3, again, this is a journey of releasing things and making place for new and embracing that. Because in fact, I see that you are very capable of doing that. You are capable to deal with change, with uncertainty and things not maybe sometimes working out as planned. I see that you guys you're good at this, you're skilled in this, and we cannot go in all the details of your individual story for things, but I feel that for a lot of you, this narrative is like very overarching. And I get this projection thing going on here. I think a lot of you are also very, very open to feelings of other people, actually, and you receive them very well, and you receive all the underlayers and nuances, you know, in conversations and things. And let me now just see some additional advice. I want to pull, you know, even just one card for you from this deck, because this deck is very interesting. There we go. And we have the 8 of Swords. Yes. Small movements towards liberation. And let me just read the text that comes along with this deck here, because this deck is interesting. It has excluded all human element in the tarot, and it works only with environment, objects, plants, animals, like the elements, but no human involved there. So it has a very raw and interesting energy to it, and an energy of, you know, things realigning, and just a tiny gap being enough to, or a tiny pivot being enough to shift an entire narrative of things. A framework for you to think and communicate is being built within you that will serve you now and far into the future. This is not to say that your views are becoming rigid or stagnant. Quite the opposite. An enduring worldview must be flexible and enough to evolve along with the world. There we are, the opportunities and what I mentioned before. Think principles over regulations. Speak in ways you can be proud of in 10, 20, even 50 years to others, but especially to yourself. Set the tone for the person you are becoming. Old habits are hard to break. It is likely you have some that are particularly stubborn right now. Look to these as your area most ripe for a makeover. So I feel very resonating with the rest of the spread. And yeah, group number 3. I hope you can embrace that energy and tap into really embracing all of that experience and skill you have. And I feel, so you might be air signs actually. Let me just check. Yeah, Aquarius, 11th house, North Node. So yeah, I feel for you it is, that card fits, like the message of that card fits so well here. And some of you might be Aqua, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And I get a very Aquarian energy in the air element here. Like that skillfulness and communication and knowledge, and yet that transformative seed in you. It's very, very beautiful. And I think in the upcoming week you will maybe have, you know, a situation which will, maybe also something where you have something regarding this projection thing going on here with the 7 of Cups, you know, something, I feel like that veil that might hover over things for you now, or maybe also that feeling of being hesitant, being stagnant, like with the 4 of Swords right now. I feel that is gonna come to an end, to the end of the week. But I think throughout the week you will have maybe this hibernating mode, basically, you know, all the bubble ripening up before it comes like to the next step. So let's see. And for some of you, you might be already a little bit further. You might have that event that kind of takes you to the next step. But I feel for some of you, it will be this hibernation thing where you just go in a little bit and, you know, try to gather your energy for all of that. So let's just see how you can take care best of yourselves. And I think I can recommend you really meditate and try to declutter your mind as much as possible, especially if you have those Aquarius placements. I know you guys are like you process information in ways which is sometimes, I think, miraculous to the rest of the zodiac entirely, which I admire a lot. And you have such an untraditional way sometimes to look at things. Yet you have like some natural sort of playfulness to yourself, which you might have already noticed. Like I like Aquarians a lot. I like Aquarius placements. I enjoy their energy. I enjoy talking to them, spending time with them. I personally think they are amazing people. And I know though that I like that a lot because I myself have a very restless brain, and a lot of people with Aquarius placements have the same thing, with prominent, like strong placements in their, like big 3 and Venus, for instance, or Mars as well. So yeah, we have ceremony, basically invocation in some way, and also autumn equinox, release. So release twice happening here. And for you, I feel really going to nature, having relaxation time in nature, meditating if you are into that, and if you are working in that field, working with ancestors. If even not, then you can do it, and you maybe that would be a good place to start doing it. Maybe sometimes scheduling some time throughout the day, or just once a week, where you meditate a little bit, where you try to also internally connect to maybe you know, grandparents, maybe somebody else in your family that might have passed and to whom you had maybe a good connection in the past or as a child, or somebody who you feel just out of your caretaker's circle, that might not be maybe by your side necessarily anymore. Maybe really internally trying to connect with them, your memories of them, some advice they gave you. That overall I get meditating and really decluttering your mind a little bit more. That is like an overarching theme I feel also for all groups today. I think that might be like a major global energy that yeah, with Pisces, during Pisces season, all of us become very receptive to different energies and to very much like influx of things, and giving ourselves a breather there, I think, is very, very important and very crucial, but especially for you, group number 3. So this is all I have for you, group number 3. Thank you so much for tuning into today's reading, and take good care of yourself. I see for you in either a little bit more hibernating or also very exciting week in the end happening. And if it doesn't happen for you within the 7 to 10 days, then rest assured then this was your time of hibernation preparation, and maybe going a little bit inwards and then going into that transformative move further on. So take good care of yourselves, and see you in the next video. Bye! So hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So if you chose this group right here, then this is going to be your reading. And yeah, today we will deal with things a little bit differently. So I will use only the deck that we selected right there for the essential topics and messages for upcoming week. And then we will jump into this tarot right here, the Elemental Power Tarot, and get some additional advice and maybe add some oracle cards to it. So let's now get straight to it. And I hope, group number 4, that the past week has treated you well, that it had not only lessons and challenges in stock, but also some nice and pleasant moments. So I somehow get that you might have had a week where you really, you know, I feel you had a rewarding end to your week somehow. Like, I feel that somehow ties into this. Yeah, very rewarding, and something that maybe also has boosted your self-esteem, maybe a little bit, I get. So maybe something that was a booster to your, yeah, to your overall system. So we have the 7 of Wands reversed here. And the Ace of Cups, such a beautiful card. I think the upcoming week, group number 4, is going to be an exciting one for you. I think it's going to be a beautiful one. New beginnings, hopes and wishes, and here, like, that pair is so beautiful. Also the Aquarius card right there, so interesting. Like, I have so many Aquarian energy hovering over this here. It might be that you let me check with the Astro Dices in a bit. We have the Knight of Cups here, High Priestess in reverse, so you might have had a tough time taking decisions aligned with, you know what, or basically knowing or estimating the outcome of things, or just having, you know, that gut feel that usually might be the one sparking your decisions a little bit and giving you that nudge that you need. But I feel that is coming to an end. That I somehow get like connection, celebration for you. Upcoming week, you might meet people to spend time together with. You might get very social, as much as you can be during the current circumstances. But yeah, and also with the Knight of Cups here, I feel you might receive some, and the Cups here, I feel you might receive some very exciting news here. And in case you are maybe wondering about, I don't even know why I continue to shuffle here, but I felt like doing so. So we have Nine of Cups here. Ties in with that rewarding energy that I mentioned before. You having a rewarding vibe to things. I feel like you might have been very like hardworking. Oh my god, and I get 10 of Wands here. You might have been working quite hard, and you might have been yeah, taking a lot, dealing with a lot in the recent time. So, but now that burden is really, it has paid off. It has paid off, and it like this is such a beautiful and very. I mean, I don't like to label things like negative, positive, but this is like a very soothing and very abundant, beautiful spread right here, to be honest. And in case you are actually thinking about a particular person in this moment, I get like very positive vibes somehow here. You might hear from that person, and I don't say like nothing necessarily about the outcome of things or whatnot. No, but also this is a general reading. It's hard to get, but I get some of you who picked this group are like thinking about a person, talking about a person, or like now a person comes to your mind or something. And not for all of you, but some of you have that. And for those of you, there is something there like there is also a positive feel there. Like there is some positive response in that topic. So interesting, very interesting. So what should you focus on, group number 4? And I get like social. So you might meet finally some friends you haven't seen in a long time. We also have strength here. So yeah, you know, also with the star, we kind of have the creation of a new world after the Tower moment, for instance, in the tarot. It kind of comes after the Tower. It is the world that is getting rebuilt after that. We have 10 of Pentacles here. So might receive actually some resource, some monetary resource, and something paying off, something coming to completion is definitely a thing here with your spread. And here though, this is kind of denoting again a new beginning to things. I think that is linked to that past thing. And you will know yourselves best, like how this is connected. But you either might have finished a project which like gave you a promotion or something, and then you need to maybe gather a new skill set, or you basically denotes a new beginning. You have a new position, you have a new experience starting. So that type of new beginning happening there. I feel that might also be the case for you. And let's now see what's the advice. So we have the Chariot upright here. So everything going into the right direction for you, group number 4. And we have the 2 of Wands here, which is about, on one hand, overseeing a situation with experience from a stable point. So basically, I like to sometimes also think with this card of, that term, or basically that saying when you say beggars can't be choosers, and this guy here can be a chooser. So why I have this, I even don't know why I get this like instant connection to that saying right now. But overall, if you have like, also with resource, if you have been like in some sort of lack of resource, like be sure that is either already it's being lifted from you, or I think for some of you it really might be like about a promotion or something major and like uplifting happening in your work life, and therefore paving the path basically for also emotional things and in private life, like for connection and things. And we have the Eight of Pentacles here, we have the Four of Wands here. So, and now I kind of can say, if you are pursuing a person currently, or like thinking about so, chances are quite much that that is a fruitful thing, that will work out beneficially and good for you. And that might be either also a business connection, a friendship. For some of you, I get it might be about a romantic thing. It might be, but not necessarily and not only, because it's a general reading. And we have 10 of Cups here. I think for some of you it really is either some of you might be with someone and wanting to take it like to the next move and maybe ask your spouse of getting married, or some like maybe buying a house, maybe, you know, taking things to a new position and a new chapter. So for those of you who have this is definitely looking very beautifully for you. And I feel like if you spark conversations, let me see. We have Pisces, we have 8, and we have Mercury. Interesting. So I get also with the star and like with dreams and wishes and yeah, also monetary things. Like I think if you want to materialize a relationship maybe to the next level, or else you have maybe a very close and strong friendship where you maybe want to found something together or something like that. I get that vibe too, or start a project together. I feel that the upcoming week might be one where these things get started and where you have like fruitful discussions on that. But for a lot of you who chose this group, I get this is about a person. This is about, and currently you might also feel like you are, maybe some of you might feel you are not deserving of them, which is not really true, I'd say. So let me see, for those of you who actually have this thing about a person, and like the Four of Wands there, the Nine of Pentacles, sorry, I was saying 8 previously, I think 9 of Pentacles, with the 10 of, yeah, the 9 of Pentacles, I know. Like the thing is that this talks basically about abundance to me a lot. And I know it's also about harnessing potential and reaping off the reward in a sense. Yes, it is. But for me, it denotes so much of like a fruitful and pleased and like very content and satisfied energy. And with the 10 of Cups, so if it is about a person, I think you are about to hear from them. You might have a very good outcome if you talk to them, if you ask them out, etc. So let me just, for those of you for whom it is about a person, pull a card. So we have the Six of Wands here. So honestly, if you want to pursue a particular person, sorry, I think I kind of flapped on my microphone now out of excitement here. But if you want to ask them out or something, chances are very high that they are going to say yes, and that you will, whatever you are pursuing there, chances are high for a positive outcome there. Definitely. You are backed up by all sorts of things there. All sorts of things. So dreams, wishes coming true for you, group number 4. A very beautiful spread, so positive, so awesome. I am really I am in awe. This is beautiful. So let us see what advice you need, maybe group number 4. Though I think this is such a phenomenal and beautiful spread. So let me see. So what advice do we have? We get the 9 of Pentacles again. And let me now read the text that comes along with this, which is very beautiful, very, very beautiful. Let me see. Because with the elemental power tarot, you have all human elements out of this deck removed. It's all about environments, plants, animals, objects, but no humans. And it's a very raw tarot energy, in my opinion, that dwells in those cards. And we have the Nine of Coins, so matured wisdom of elemental earth. Learning from mistakes is just as valuable as learning from successes. And at this stage of the game, you've got plenty of each under your belt. Catalog these experiences and set your sights on the next stage of learning required for your development. Here, some of you guys have gotten a promotion, I sense that. Whether a formal course of study or a self-guided exploration, the knowledge you gather now will open a world of possibilities for what you build next. Invest in your future by investing in the expansion of your mind. Recognizing where we lack the knowledge required to grow requires humility. That is like the challenging part of the card. This can be difficult for those who have achieved expert status in their field. Find someone who knows more than you and explore what they have to offer. So for you, it is either promotion, either new position. I feel for you, this is, yeah, that part is, I think you are entering something very exciting in a new journey, but not from the point of, you know, neediness or lack of something, but you already, as mentioned in this text, you have everything under your belt already you need, you know, you are well braced for things, and everything you get now is something you consciously decide you want to stack on top of that. And that's such a beautiful position to be in, group number 4. It's beautiful, and I'm very, very happy to see this spread for you, because I also like how this spread is structured. I see that this comes out of very hard work for you. Very hard and dedicated work. Like this guy here, you have seen that side of this game also. And it's so beautiful and so rewarding, and such a like an uplifting energy to see all of this. Very, very beautiful. So let's see, group number 4, what you can do best to take care of yourself during the upcoming days. Though I think you will have an exciting time. Exciting, very beautiful, very nice. So I am really, really excited about your reading. It's beautiful. So let's see what you can do best. So how can they take care of themselves? DNA, karma. You know, you reap the rewards. You reap the rewards. And let me see, like Saturn return. You might have just like, you might have gotten out of yours maybe. Let's see. Let's see. Because now we had that shift, you know, with Aquarius, so others got out of theirs while others entered theirs. So we have, yeah, Moon, Mars, like what are you going to be? So we have Capricorn definitely there, and 11. And we have Jupiter. Jupiter, Capricorn, like very, very, very karmic energy definitely. So I feel some of you might have gotten out of their astrological like karmic shifts and stuff, like you know, Saturn return might have been over for you now. So ceremony, invocation, so yeah, ancestor work, basically also doing some gratitude work. Oh, my kitty is, she didn't join us as much today as the last time. I think the last time was very exciting for her, but today she's now and then popping in and like scratching the carpets and stuff. Now she's gone again. Okay, so practicing some gratitude. If you are into that ancestor work, also thanking your ancestors for protection and being there for you, your spirit guides. So if you are working with that, a good time to show that as well. And then we have spring equinox, rebirth. And I feel that is happening for you, totally. That is happening for you. Oh my god, I get such a nice feeling with your spread, group number 4. What a beautiful wrap up for this weekly reading. So this is all I have for you, group number 4. So, you know, meditate, work with your ancestors, do something. I also get like treat yourself well, reward yourself. Like really bask in your abundance, and not like in a you know, show off your arrogant way. I don't get that you are those types of people. No, not at all. But the thing is, like, really surround yourself with what you earned and what you built there. Do that. do that, and it is all well deserved and well earned. And thank you so much for tuning into this reading, and I enjoyed it to bits. It's really beautiful, and see you in the next video. Bye!